Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to another Zeal stream. Let's move this over to here. And how's it going, everyone? Glad. Hopefully, you're doing well and you've had a good week. Let's lower this just a little bit. There we go. I don't feel like I have to crane my neck. Yeah, there we go. So, what's going on today? Today we are going to be doing more Elixir, but instead of doing programming challenges or anything like that, I am going to be building a package. So we're actually going to be trying to build something to be used on the interwebs by people and by me, yours truly. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we can get into the nitty-gritty details of what I am trying to do. So let's switch over to this. And there we go. So, what am I trying to build today? So let's get into some details of what we're doing. Corbob, how's it going? Glad to see you here. So it's been a little bit since we've made one of these journals, so let's go ahead and try doing it. So this is creating an Elixir package. Day one of creating an Elixir package. So today's objectives. Oh yeah, forgot. Let's do the. Is this gonna work? We don't have it yet. Okay, that's fine. Totally not procrastinating at all. Definitely not. Okay, so today's objective is to start a new Elixir project that will end up being a reusable, let me put on do not disturb, a package we can use in future projects. How's your week been, Corbob? So let's go ahead and just get straight to the notes. So I am looking, so starting today, I want to start creating my first Elixir. Oh my God, I can't tap right now. Elixir package that mirrors functionality from an already existing Ruby gem I have used, or better yet, I am using in one of my projects. Just realized I should probably turn on the closed captions. Probably a good idea. Let me close this. And go here. And do this. There we go. Okay. Already existing Ruby. One of my existing I'm already using one of my Ruby projects. The gem is called Talk like a pirate gem. It's called Talk like a pirate, and it takes sentences, strings, sentences, or I guess strings. Let's just say string. It takes strings and converts the string to pirate lingo using a mapping. Go ahead and go grab that gem. So gem talk like a pirate. Link to it. So it's a pretty straightforward gem. So yeah, like I said, it just takes a string, converts it to pirate lingo using a mapping. And in this case for this gem, it uses a YAML file. That. Yeah. So that's what that is. So let's get to it. I mean, there's not much else to get into. So let's get started with this. So first, the first thing we need to do is create a project. So use Mix for this. So Mix is Elixir's command line tool to do things. So and using Mix, you can run tasks and also scaffold projects. So right here is create a new Elixir project at the given path. So Mix, new, talk. I'm not sure what the naming conventions are. Talk like a pirate. Talk like a. I'm gonna call it talk like an X because I might want to. I think I want to try to make this more flexible, not just pirate lingo, but whatever other thing, whatever other mapping you want to do. So we'll just say call it talk like a X. See what happens. So that went ahead and created a README, formatter, get ignore, a bunch of different stuff. So Mix project is created successfully. You can use Mix to compile it. So all we have to do is cd into talk like a X and go into it. And then Mix test. That compiled it and everything. So let's go ahead and open up VS Code in here. We have our project up and running. So this is my first time on my own scaffolding my own stuff. Please install. Oh, looks like I have two Elixir things colliding with each other. So which one do I want to use? I think I'll uninstall this one then, if that has to be the case. Let me try to relaunch this. talk like a X. Make this nice and big. Okay. Then let's move this screen sharing. There we go. So let's start taking a look at the various components. We'll probably jump through and take a look at different documentation and stuff like that to get used to everything. But let's see. So we have, so this is our main project file. Talk like an X. It's already set it to version 0.10. And next help compile up to learn about applications, help depths. And this is for installing dependencies. Let's see what our to-do reads as our description, talk like an X. We don't, and then if you want to add it as a dependency, we'll worry about figuring out how to publish it later. And then, so that's our build directive where everything was built at. I think this is for the tool we're using. So now we have this brand new file that contains our hello world starter method in our module. And then we have our talk like a, and then we have the test for this. So one thing that's interesting about tests that I learned with Elixir is if you write a test, I think it, so let's see. So I'm going to delete all this documentation code here. And it's just this module with this hello. So let's try running tests. See what type of commands we have with Elixir. So let's do mixed tests. See what happens. So mixed test was supposed to generate, not mixed test generates box. Let's see. So let's go to the top. So mixed test. Color, cover, exclude, force formatter, include, listen, mix cases. Let's see with all these things. Okay. Okay, well, never mind that. Comment. Documentation here. So we're looking to kind of mirror Talk Like a Pirate. So right now, Talk Like a Pirate is this module, and it has this translate. So let's try to meet this minimum interface similar to this. So instead of hello, we have translate. And converts. So in our test, we'll say converts string sentence to pirate. Go. So what we expect is we pass in a string and then it'll be hello friend. And then we expect that to say ahoy AT. That's what will be our test. So we want hello to be ahoy, and then friend to be matey. I think that's how. Go with that for now. Oops. I want to run that again. Mix test. So now we have a failing test because translate doesn't exist. Translate with an arity of 1 doesn't exist. So what we have here is what's called sentence, even though it's called text. Words. We'll stick with words. And we'll just return back words. For that now. So we got past, so we implemented translate. Translate. And we expect it to return back ahoy. Maybe. What's this spec? Get whatever. Let's try running that again. I guess the second test is what is undefined or private. Not exactly sure what that's doing. Hello world. This needs to be hello friend. That needs to be. Oh, I think this ended up converting this to a test. I think that's what Zan. I was talking to Zan, and that's what he was saying, that this ends up being a test. So let's just get rid of that. That now I have. Okay, never mind. One doc test and one regular test. Okay, well, anyway, the first thing we need to do is go and load. We need to create a mapping. So I wonder if we can try to internationalize. So like with this guy, this code's fairly straightforward. Translate just does a check. What I need to do is check when the string is a binary. This. To be sure, because all strings are binary. So let's see. So it fails when a string isn't passed. Say 1, 2, 3. Let's say true. Oh, I guess it's not binary. It's not failing. I think I have some notes. I think I have some notes on this. Let me see. Or is there a helper method? Elixir is prison and is history. There we go. Is not is binary, is bit string. That works. And then I think let's look at how to assert that something was raised. Testing, assert raise. Here we go. So assert raise, talk like a pirate. And then we pass it to number 1. Compilation error. Undefined function assert raise. Okay. Elixir assert raise. Oh, so that's how you do it. So assert raise for this call. Forget exactly what assertion or function clause there. That's passing. Cool. All right, so we have that nifty code. Okay, so now we need to actually do like a string substitution. So let's see. Let's try loading the YAML. I guess first things first is we can try to create a map of words to pirate word. I think it's the percentage for maps, but I don't remember. We'll find out eventually. So if I want to do hello to ahoy, and then also do friend to 80. Keywords are always yes, even when they're quoted, similar to atoms. Keywords are not exclusive. Let's look this up real quick, Elixir. Or actually, let me look at my guide over here. Comparisons here. Basic data types, nope. Collections, list tuple, keyword lists. And then maps. Let's see here. So let's see if this is gonna, let's see how this works. So now we wanna, so we have our map. Now we wanna do things with this map. So the first thing you need to do is string case everything. We'll just do default. Next thing we need to do, because we need a map match with the mapping. And then for each, and then now that we have each string, we need to break them apart into the individual, what do you call it? Words. So we're just gonna do this naively, and we'll do a split on spaces. And then after we do that, after we do a split on spaces, we need to actually reconstruct the string. So now this is an array. So we want to do we want to map over these to create a new array, converting each string, each scanning through the array and doing looking up and doing a conversion. So believe that's an enumerable. Enumerable. Elixir enumerable. Or the enum. Not the enumerable, but the enum. That has all the methods. So now we map. And so we get the array and we map and then we do something to it. So enum map, and then we have our proc method. So we have proc, and this will be a word. And then we want to do pirate word map. This is a map. So let's see. Sort of methods. So get. So we can do on the map, we get, and we get the thing. So hopefully this works. So map get. Then we pass in pirate map, word map, and then we pass in the thing, the key we're looking for, which is the word. And then the second argument looks like it's a default. So if nothing gets come up and nothing comes up, then we just pass in the word. Let's see, so we got that done. And then, so that should return back an array of converted stuff. And then we want to rejoin that together on spaces. So enum join, say, and we join back on spaces. And I have no clue where this is going to work, but let's find out. It did not work. Maybe our map isn't doing what we want it to do. Let's go into IEX and test this out. So let's take exactly this code here. So the pirate map, and then what I want to do is do pirate word map get, or actually it's not map get pirate word map, comma, and then let's try doing hello. No, let's try doing the symbol hello. Okay. So let's see here. I wanted to keep it as a string. I don't want it to be converted to a symbol. Is it the key to that doing the fat arrow? Let's find out. I switch this and I do this as a fat arrow. Test it in isolation with just this. Oh, okay. use that. Let's exit out of here. Let's do mix test. It worked. It worked. It worked. Let me make a note of this. So, interesting finding with using Elixir maps. App. If you use a string as a key and use the colon syntax for defining the value, it will convert the string to an atom. In order to avoid this, from happening, you must use the fat arrow X. Do some code. So let's open up IEX so we can easily copy and paste this in. So let's do this syntax. That syntax. We can show this in one go actually. Oh, is it not gonna? Oh, you can't mix it. Okay. So let's say IEX. And then we do it the proper way. So fat arrow. Put that way. Learning stuff. Okay, cool. So that went ahead and did the conversion. Only downside is that we lose our case, our capitalization, which I think we'll have to be okay with. Yeah, let's just be okay with that. Let's not get too much into the weeds with this. So let's get out of X and do a test run. Our spec for doc tests are filling. We have Passing test. Is it done yet? It's done now. We're ship it. Look, we're done. We ship it. So yeah, so we have a simple right now. So right now we have this simple hash map or map with the strings of hello to ahoy and friend to matey. It goes through here, and then it converts it converts it back to a string. So hello friend to ahoy matey. Ship it, yes. Okay, so let's level this up a little bit. I mean, the tests aren't that sophisticated right now. But using this test, we can do some extending of our functionality. So the next step would be to actually go and fetch our some pirate mapping. My screen just blacked out. Okay, there we go. So this has a mapping of a bunch of different of words. So let's take this. So for a dictionary, it looks like for them they probably ended up using like I-18 internationalization code maybe to do things. So I wonder if we can, so the lib, so is it proper to put a config in here? And then I've got a file called, we're just gonna call it pirate.yaml. Let's just copy and paste this in here. It feels like this needs to be indented like twice. There we go. So I wonder if we could, under the hood, use internationalization type of thing to swap out words. That's actually be much more clever. But for now, I think we'll just try importing in, let's try importing in this YAML file. So Elixir, I have no clue how to do this. Elixir load YAML file, YAML Elixir, a YAML parser for Elixir. Ooh. Okay. This has been updated 15 days ago. Beautiful. So that means we have a maintained library right there. So this is a wrapper for YAML ERL, a native Erlang YAML parser, which brings all the functionalities to the Elixir language. Add YAML Elixir as a dependency in your mix.exs file. Equals the version in mix.exs. You can omit the last X. Always make sure you have the latest version. Okay. Usage. YAML Elixir, you have access to functionalities. One for parsing a string and one for parsing a file. Okay. So this is path to some YAML file right here. Okay. By default, all maps are processed as strings and are all bear word or quoted values. If you prefer auto-tech keys and values that begin with colon as atoms, this can be accomplished by passing atoms true. We'll just stick with the standard string. We don't need to get all fancy. Support for a keyword list. Keyword list can be returned in two ways, either by, I'm not familiar with this, keyword list. This will return prod, foo, and then, oh, it returns it back as a list. Okay, I see. So instead of having nested stuff return back as a map, it returns it back as a list instead, with the pairings instead of a hash. Right, sigil y that can be used, for example, for keeping short configuration if needed in YAML. This can actually be pretty useful for testing, maybe. Okay, let's go ahead and use this. So let me put a little comment here. Put that in there for now. So all we have to do is go to our dependency, which is in mix exs, and paste this guy in here under dependencies. So what version is this on then? It's on version 250. 250. Yes, say 25. Shall I install hex if running use mix? Yeah. Shall I install rebar 3? Not sure what that is, but sure. That's a nice plugin. It went in, fetched everything for me. So make sure our tests still pass. They do. Okay. All right. So now we need to actually load the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to throw this into a separate function. So load I call it load lingo, and it's going to take in the lingo, and for now we're going to have this just default to pirate, and this is for figure rebar is a Elixir HTML view integration thing like YAML or okay, cool. All right, so we're going to try to load the lingo. Let's copy and paste this example code in here to not reinvent the wheel. Because, again, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So do this, and then let's invent that over there. So file, current working directory. I can understand that very, very easily. And then what we want to do is go into config And then we want to go to pirate YAML. Instead of config, let's call this lingo. Lingos. So we go into lingos, we get the file path, and then also, I'm completely wrong. It's an Erlang thing. So Rebar 3 is an Erlang tool that makes it easy to create, develop, and release Erlang libraries, applications, and systems in a repeatable manner. Ooh, so that means that might be something we want to look at when we're finally releasing this to Hex as a Hex package. Maybe. Load lingo. So we take the file path and then we load the lingo. Let's go ahead and write this as a test. So why is this complaining? Cannot find invoke local lingo inside match. Only macros can be invoked in a match. In a match, and they must be predefined by okay called. But I'm not doing a match though. This is the way you're supposed to be able to do defaults. Oh, it's the other way around. Other way around. This way. There we go. I think that's it. Unused. If variable is not meant to be used, prefix it with an underscore. Yeah. Let's write a test for this. Loads default lingo. So we call load lingo. We're not passing in anything. It's just load lingo. And then what we want to do is make sure that it has pirate lingo. I want to do an assertion that pirate lingo get map get pirate lingo for the word hello. Okay. I guess we could do admin because that's really easy. Admin. And that should equal to Helm. If this is going to work. Let's see here. So we have an error flying out. So bad map, expected map, got Elixir file not found, failed to load. Documents, code, pirate lingos, pirate YAML, no such file or directory. Oh, I have to go into lib. Try that. Okay. So expected map got, oh, and that's going to return back. That's right. Because we're doing it with Elixir, it's like common practice to like tell you whether it successfully loaded something, telling you okay, and then the rest of the info. Like that. We don't need this dictionary. Let's structure this, restructure this. So this is still going to fail, but at least this is more flat structured. So it returns back okay, and then that. Okay. So what we expect back is that this is going to return back an okay. So we're going to be doing some pattern matching here. Okay. And then this is going to be our pirate lingo. So it's going to match against okay and our pirate, and then we're going to grab out of that, we're going to grab our pirate lingo map. Let's see here. There we go. And we have a passing test. So we're properly loading in the pirate lingo. So that means we want to, over here, load lingo. Right now we're not passing any overrides in. Pirate lingo. So this is an okay with pirate lingo app. And do that. And hopefully our test will pass. Okay. Well, there's a slight deviation in our expectations because in this file, friend is so not incorrect. Since we're using a different file, our mapping is slightly different based off of this person's stuff. I still have a. Wait. Where is? Oh, this test, this doc. There we go. Please use parentheses to avoid ambiguity. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Okay. That's actually really cool. So let's there's such thing as describe blocks in Elixir tests. Testing. That doesn't provide much information. Yes, there is. Okay. Hex docs. I can't select it. Why doesn't it let me do the? That's really annoying. The CY doesn't let me highlight stuff. X unit case HTML and the hex docs. Hex docs. EX. X underscore unit. There we go. So after suite configuration, plural, and then let's see here. So assertions capture cases. There you go. Yeah, okay. So describe block, module and describe tags. Cool, thanks. I want to do a describe block for the loading the files. That in its own describe block, and make this describe block loading lingos. See, still passes. And then describe block for this one. The autocompleter or the knew about describe blocks. I should just try that. I should just try typing into the IDE and see if it autocompletes for me. Is it going to format for me? Yes. Okay. So, and then this is I guess I can name these after the functions. So translate that, and then this is for lingos. So what I want to do is I want to write an assertion for what happens when. Well, I'm curious what happens if we don't handles lingo that doesn't exist. That's what I want to test for. So I want to, well, actually, and let's just yeah, let's just go with that first. Doesn't exist, and it's going to be blah 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 .yaml. And what happens? Oh wait, where I'm not. Well, there we go. It's good I tested this because I'm already not using the default lingo, default parameter for lingo. Coded it, but I never used the actual variable. Try this now. So handles lingo that doesn't exist. Does not match right side with error. So if let's see here. I think it's doing a case statement because if it doesn't exist, I want to do like a custom handler for this. Or a custom error, not a custom handler, but a custom error. Instead of it getting this gobbledygook, if they were to pass in something in, I want to return back my own raised error where it says differently. So I can do this with cases, I think. Let's see, so control structures. If, else, and cases. So we pass in the case and then we handle it however we want to. I remember there's cases and then there's conditions. Okay, so conditions are these. I'll do it as a case. So here's our case. Actually, it should be handling the case here. Actually, what am I doing? So let's see. Let's see. I should raise the error in load. Should I rate it? Is it in load lingo? No, load lingo is sole responsibility is to load the file and it returns back errors or not. So then I should handle it and translate processing that. So let's see if it's an auto-completed case statement. Okay, it does. Nice. So this test is kind of silly. I think about this, but we're going to go ahead and go with it anyway. To just handle oh, I can do this, huh? So I can just do a pattern matching where this is equal to probably, and I can just say colon error with some whatever. I always have the expectation that it's going to return back when it loads lingo, it errors and then does that. Cannot be used in an expression. No? Wait, can I not? Is this going to work? Yeah, it's not going to work because the pattern doesn't match. Okay. How would I go about trying trying to do this? I could just try to get the error and see if it's there. Check assertions. Assert, assert raise, assert receive. Receive, received. Refute. You can also match against a specific pattern. Okay. So asserts that the message matching pattern was or is going to be received within the timeout period. This is for messages though. Do I just have to maybe I can just do like a has? Because this is a tuple. What can I do with our tuples enumerables? Assert blah blah blah. What if I can destructure this? So let's try this. Do this. This will be the status. This is the message. And then what I can do is make status. I can check status is equal to error. How about that? Will that work? Yes. Okay. There we go. So now we have a test to make sure that the thing comes back properly, and then let's see. So so load lingo gets called, and then it's going to pattern match on case statement. So case statements are under control structures, cases. So left side's the pattern match, and then right side is this. Is the actual thing we're going to execute. These are just functions, and so if we get an OK and we get an OK in the lingo map, Okay, lingo map. And then what we want to do is we actually want to execute this. So this in its own method then replace lingo. This expects to receive the words and the lingo map. So we paste that in. So now we're getting even more generic. So we get the words in the lingo map. So then we call convert lingo with the words and the lingo map that we just got. And then if it ends up being error and we don't care what the error is, then we should probably test for this. I'm like writing this before we're even testing this. Translate one fails to yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Okay, we have a compiler, unexpected end on line 32. So, missing an end. Oh, well, because I don't have a do. What's going on here? That's because this is misspelled. No. As we have passing tests with this conversion of matching on the lingo map. So now what I want to do is I want to create a function for specifying a lingo. Translate. So this is going to be a 2-parameter method. Go with the happy path first. So convert sentence to requested pirate lingo. So words, and then we pass in the language we want to convert to is pirate. I wonder if that should be an atom. Pirate. Is it possible to convert symbols, or not symbols, but what do you call it? Atoms to strings? Let me try this out. IX, experiment. Hello. Then do this world. Okay, it does work. So I think that might work for us because when we're doing the file pathing, we put in the symbol, so pirate, so like this. And so that works out. and then load lingo. So instead of blah, 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 it'll be colon, blah, blah. Well, we'll use atoms to load set of strings. Like that. Let's see if that is going to make the tests yes. No. Okay, because we're defining a brand new function called translate to. Right. The rest of them passed. Translate, and so we're saying, ahoy shipmate. Okay, convert sentence to the requested lingo. To the requested lingo. Let's actually move that into a describe block. And then let's move this up into here. And then what I'm going to do here is say that we're doing colon pirate. That. Let's see. So translate to so this should still fail because we don't have a translate to. So by default, translate will do to pirate. You cannot call describe instead of describe. No. For describe to on name setups, handle how to handle hierarchy. Let's look at the docs then. Describe. For group test, see describe to. Oh, that sucks. So I can't do nested describes. Grr. There goes that idea. Okay. That's my RSpec wantings to exist. All right, so let's create a translate to. Translate words, and then it will be lingo. I guess what I can do is to save the trouble of duplicating a bunch of stuff. I can make this pirate. Most of the tests should still pass, except for one. Ooh. Oh, because this is using the pirate, the default. Do you have the source of the gem and another one for reference, or making it up as you go? I am making it up as I go, actually. So here's the source. So I looked at the general API for this. So let me go ahead and post this in the chat. And so the general API is just this, translate. So, and it does a little bit more. Yeah, I already had a rough idea where I wanted to go, luckily, because of some of the simplicities involved. I should. So I'm gonna do an iteration where I'm gonna get well, I guess it's roughly the same thing that they're doing. Um, I need to up the ante. So I'm doing the bare minimum, and then I'm gonna take a look at what they're doing, and then try to um, expand on that. So like they're doing pluralization uh, and other kind of like fancy-ish stuff. Extract punctuation. Yeah, so they're doing a lot of uh, they're doing a lot of stuff here. So for now, we're keeping it simple and doing the bare minimum of just loading the file and swapping the strings, and then we'll keep on expanding on that. Yeah, so the locale favor, loading the dictionary and stuff like that. Um, we're tweaking that a little bit to do our own style. Capitalize first. We should probably do this also, but we'll um, write requirements as we go for now. uh, Love it. Yeah, I really want to just kind of go through this path of self-discovery, so which is why I'm kind of like trying to see how far we can get without being inspired by other code too much. And so far, it's been actually been going pretty smoothly. I am actually surprised all that practice coding that we've done has paid off, and and the light reading I've been doing. So I'm happy. Uh, throws error, lingo error, and uh, well, not found. This is what I was talking about, throwing a different error. So we're gonna thing we're looking for is nothing found. We're gonna translate hello friend, assert, raise. Have an assert raise test somewhere around here, like that. So assert raise. We're just gonna do a whatever assertion raise first. And see what happens. So assert raise that happens. Let's try running this. And we got a failure. So expected exception, but nothing was raised. So since nothing was raised, since the case statement didn't catch anything, it just didn't return anything. So what I want to do is, if an error occurs, we don't care about the message. And then I want to learn, I can't remember exactly how to raise errors. I think it's very similar to how Ruby. Okay. So even before this, since we're doing a function called to translate, Should translate return back the string, or is it more elixir to return back a tuple with the OK and then the error condition? I think that's more elixir, right? Because right now we're just returning back a string like the original Ruby library has. But it seems I think it's the Elixir convention to return back an OK plus the value as the second item in tuple. Return back a tuple, status, and then string. I think that's the way it's supposed to go, at least for libraries. Or that's the expected thing. So you can handle it however way you want. Try doing that. So what my expectation would be for calling translate would be that this is an OK, comma, at. Instead. So instead of ahoy shipmate, it will be okay, ahoy shipmate. So then for throwing an error, so we're not going to be expecting an error to be raised. Returns error tuple and message file's not found. So assert error, comma, the message is could not load, cannot. So that's a good guideline for error returns. Okay. Let's see. Can I actually grab that? Okay. Okay. StreamYard, I have issues with your stuff. Let me open up. So basically error info, where error info could be something else like a struct or another tuple or thing. Gotcha. Yeah, let's see if I can actually grab that link now. I'm gonna have to keep up a best practice of just having window open, capture messages. I can't. Okay. I had to legitimately go into the element inspector in order to grab that message text. It suggests not using a string as error info though. As any, and then return back a tuple. Okay, like that. Tuple, and then so handling error case statuses like that. Any okay, exceptions. Avoid strings, for example. So avoid that. Although humans have no problem with reading, although humans have no problem reading strings, programs can have trouble making sense of information string. Instead, string, consider using atom instead. Okay. and then an exception struct. Even though errors are not commonly raised. So we'll do a little atom for not bound. I like this. Okay, bookmarking. And Elixir. Saving that. And let's put this into the doc. Where's my doc at? Good. Food article. Good article on best practices for handling error, for returning results in Elixir via Dr. Argus. Dr. A. Argus. Nice. Thank you for that. All right. So what we'll expect back is file. We'll return back a symbol of file not bound. And then oh, I guess this is going to return back. Let's see. So we do convert lingo. Convert lingo is going to, so load lingo is going to do this. So load lingo is actually going to return back some like longer thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to return back an error object, a shorter thing that says file not bound. That's what we'll stick with. Because load lingo is going to return back its own error object. We'll just say file not found. So raise error, blah, blah, blah. And we'll expect that this is going to return back error file not. Okay, so try to convert sentences to request lingo pirate, da da da. Okay, so it failed. Oh, wait. Left side is convert lingo is not okay. And then this needs to return back okay. And then the result of convert lingo. Cool. What test is this? Online. Oh, this is a doc test. Oh, I was like, what the heck's going on? I forgot that there's doc tests. Like, where's this test coming from? It's the doc test. I'm still not used to that there's fact that there's doc tests. Where's this test failing at? Error, return to error. Message when files not found. So I ended up returning back a result. Oh, because we're not loading in the lingo. We didn't pass it in as argument. No. Error. Well, if we can spell error correctly, then we'd probably have passing probably have a lot of passing code. If I could spell correctly, I probably would have saved hours of my life, if not days, over these past 10 years of programming. Ugh. Hey, I think this is working. Step 1 is working. Let's actually test this with the new file. Let's see about loading in a custom lingo or a different lingo. Let's do server. Let's try to see if we can find. Actually, let's come up with some mappings on our own first. Let's go with these. And we'll start with these. If we can come up with custom. Actually, I should test some of these other ones. Because you see how like some of these are like have apostrophes and stuff like that in it. Let's see. So let's just the ones with apostrophes. So let's test hello friend. We have to actually test proper punctuation. Hello. That's really ahoy shipmate. That be. I think that's what that's happy. Really, rarely. You are. I don't know. It doesn't have to be like full sentence that makes sense. And okay. Let's take that off the screen. Let's see what happens with the tests. So we have one failing test, and it's this one. This one is ahoy. I think it's the punctuation that's throwing it off. Punctuation throws it off. So we actually have, before we even like can do custom languages, now we have more robust tests about punctuation. With punctuation. Punctuation. Let's see. So punctuation. So I guess this is where it comes in handy to look at the Ruby code and how they handle that. So let's bring up the gem code and see. Okay. So they processed it and they extracted the punctuation and then they ripped it apart even further. So I wonder if we should try to do that when we're processing the string. Is so we expect the punctuation to be back in there. So I think what should happen is we should probably try to split on punctuation. So we downcase the words, we split them, and then I wonder, let's see, prepare original set. So here they take the leading punctuation word, trailing punctuation, and then build. So trailing. So what are they doing here? They are getting /a. Where's my? Let's see. Do I have a regex cheat sheet? Yeah, but we're looking up Ruby ones. Where is a? So /a is supposed. I'm assuming that this is some sort of special escape thing. Let's see. Is there any other? Here we go. Here's a regular expression cheat sheet. Regular expression, Z, end of string, A, start of string. Okay. Trailing punctuation. So it's finding the word length. And it's extracting out the word and then the punctuation. So we split on the words. Translate a string. So let's see how this one does it. Need a string, build string. Translate string. So okay, they are. So it is splitting on the spaces, and then it processes the word even more so, and then it prepends everything together again. Okay. Let's see if we can try to get this done before we end the stream. So we're going to end the stream roughly at 3 o'clock. So let's see if we can read the get to this. So you can see right here, what we're doing is we're mapping through. We get the word, and then we just do map get, and then we do a lingo map. What probably should do is have another method here of how do they put this? Extract. I guess we'll just say extract punctuation. Let's call it extract punctuation the same way they're doing it here. So we get our word, can't forget our do. And see. So let's see, how do they do this here? It's interesting how they're trying to rescue on this. Pick up Elixir string helpers. So match. Not splice. Let's see. I wonder if we can do a split. Let's try doing a split. Let's try splitting on punctuation. Well, yeah, let's just try a split, see what happens. And we could probably, let's see, so string split on our word. Regular expressions are done like this. And I want to do a trim true just in case. And here's our regex here. We can do, well, I guess we'll stick with this first. So punctuation, leading punctuation, trailing punctuation. I wonder if we can test this in IX. Let's test this in IX in the terminal. And so hello, comma, there. So string, split, tilde, and then trim true, so we don't get that thing. So I didn't do anything here because this is like a regex for the beginning. Do a regex for the leading punctuation and see how that goes. Got this, paste that in. Where did there go? It is dropped there. So the way this regex is coded is that we get A through Z, capital, lowercase, uppercase, any number, and then anything that's not. Regex isn't good enough to answer that question. So this is what I gather. So this part right here is A through Z, lowercase, uppercase, any number from 1 to whatever, followed by anything that is not. It's set to capture multiple cat matches or just the first one? Before it was originally set up to capture, actually set up to capture anything. And then here it's anything that's not A through Z. And then slash these, so this has to be at the end. What happens if we set this such that we split only on anything that's not A through Z at the end? We need like a regex tester. We might not have enough time to do this. Regex tester. Is this the one I like? It is. Regex tester is always nice to try to do things with. So hello, there is our test. And then this is our, actually, let's use the regex that the gem is using. This one right here. Okay, so matches a single character present in the list below. A through Z, capturing the first group. Match a single character not present in the list below. For this one right here. Yeah, so for this part, it's matching single character not present in the list below. And oh, I think I understand what this is doing. Asserts the position at the end of the string before the line terminator. What happens if I say hello, period there? So that ends up grabbing that. So it grabs there and then the period that it matches is it's looking for a word plus some punctuation associated with it and at the end of the string. So if we're testing this, it's splitting on words. So if we do this, this is what it'll split to. So our test for testing this out should be more like this. Where it returns so we shouldn't be doing a split then. What's the other methods we can do? There is the match. But match just gives us true or false. Uh, include captures. Let's see what that does. Okay. Yeah, so it's not properly splitting hello. All right, we might have to just shelve this for today because this is regex, always quite a bag of worms. See, is there any other splice? Chunk contains code point, a down case, duplicate ends with. Uh, reverse, replace, slice, splitter. Returns an enumeral that splits a string on demand. Interesting. This is a content splitter which splits the entire string up front. Okay, well, we don't care about that. To add them, nice to know. Trim leading, trim. Okay. So split isn't working the way I expected it to work. Maybe we have to capture both of them. Yeah, not sure. This regex pattern is matching, but it's not working the way I thought it would. Like, at least from my understanding, this regex pattern is perfectly fine. It seems perfectly fine. What happens is, so before I had 2 words, so then it did that. So this is just, let's look up regex real quick. Does it have the mappings in here? It doesn't. Where's the special keyword for word? White space, digit, not white space. Okay, yeah, we'll have to shove this. This is going to be a little bit trickier to try to get this to split on this. You can see over here in this regex tester, the matching works. But just in IEX, we're trying to use this to split condition. You need to preserve this. So we need to capture that. So we're gonna have to spend some, I'm gonna have to spend some time looking at how to do Elixir matches and how to achieve that. So we'll have to figure that out. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. And well, actually, yeah, I'll commit this code and get a repo going up for this. But this first part of the application was pretty cool. We got a lot of good stuff done with this. We got the basics done. Now we're just testing for punctuation. So if I do mixed test, the test involving punctuation, yeah, we have a test that we have to properly assert for. So to see how that goes. This one's interesting because I guess because of the period there, that's what's starting things off. So next Friday, we'll be covering this, working on handling punctuation, and keep on iterating on this. So until next time, thanks so much for everything and hanging out. And I will catch you next time. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.